make a bigger circle. Hey.
Americans, you're all the same.
Rich, spoiled, egocentric. No wonder you can't resist.
I give you everything. What do I get in return? You're a beast, you know.
If you say so.
I met you on a plane 1 week ago. And what do I know about yourself? Nothing.
Why did you come to Porto Ercole?
To get my stomach rubbed. And procrastinate.
Procrastinate?
What does it mean?
Procrastinate? Well, that means that I always put off to tomorrow what I can do today. That way it expands my lifespan.
You're always making fun. What are you after, Al?
Fun, sun, tan.
Jewelry, diamonds, paintings.
Well, you filled the ignorance gap pretty rapidly. Is that professional interest or idle curiosity?
Maybe. I only want to know what I'm getting myself into.
So do I.
I checked the new, but I wasn't scared of it.
I didn't think you would be.
I'm thirsty. Get me a drink.
This straight. You want me to steal?
Good afternoon. I imagined you as somewhat different. Older, maybe.
Sorry about the disappointment. Would you mind telling me the meaning of all of this?
I must tell you, I consider it quite an honor to meet a man of your achievements. You have daring, style, imagination. In your field, you were a genuine artist.
Thank you very much. You didn't have to bring me all the way up here to tell me that.
You were 48 hours late. Why?
Late about what? Look, would you mind telling me about all of this?
Where is the merchandise? George?
George? George? Oh, so that's it. And here I was putting all those nasty thoughts into your minds. Well, I'm sorry, gentlemen. I must apologize. This is obviously a case of mistaken identity. My name is Al Mundy. Who's George?
You talk too much, Indra. We're wasting time. I suggest we get the information my way. It'll be faster.
You have in your possession some highly valuable merchandise. Plutonium. You were supposed to get in contact with us 2 days ago. Nothing happened, George. Why?
I'm telling you, the only George I know is a lingerie salesman in Hoboken. You've got the wrong man. My name...
Al Mundy, we know that. But if, for some of your more delicate activities, you find it convenient to use the name of George, do we still have the wrong man, Mr. Mundy?
No. You've got the wrong facts. I am retired. I never use cover names, and my specialty is jewelry. Now, I don't know where you get your information, but I'd change sources if I were you.
We're not getting anywhere.
I couldn't agree more. Now, if you don't mind, I'll go back to what your two gorillas interrupted me from.
How are you, Mr. Mundy? I hope you're not going to leave, are you?
My dear Duchess, you are just in time. We're going to have to be unpleasant.
Our guest refuses to cooperate.
Oh, I don't blame him. We've made a mistake. He's not George. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Mundy.
Oh, it's perfectly natural. Amateurs have so much to learn.
Please, have a drink before you leave. Anything you like to clear up this unfortunate incident.
Scotch. Thanks.
Good.
Our apologies, Mr. Mundy.
An unforgivable blunder. I'm very sorry.
Oh, well. It's nothing. It's just that it lacks style, daring, and imagination.
We're in the same, shall I say, line of business. Salute.
A salute. A salute.
Shall we part in elegance?
All we ask for, Mr. Mundy, is your sympathetic silence over the whole affair.
Anything wrong, Mr. Mundy? Taking effect.
It was beautifully planned and executed, Duchess. My sincere compliments.
Are you sure it is not George?
Positive.
But he arrived in the right plane.
All our information.
He has to be taken care of.
Must look like an accident.
Leave it to me. It will be believable and absurd, like all accident.
They sure do make a lot of noise.
Yes.
Can you tell me how to get back to Puerto Huercale from here?
There's a road on top of that cliff. Just follow it. I hope it was all worth it.
What was worth what?
Whatever you did to get in that condition.
Thanks a lot.
Farina. That's what everybody calls me. I better go now before I have World War III in my hands.
I was mugged, drugged, and almost drowned. I would say I made contact. It is plutonium. The drop will take place here, and it is George. How come they mistook me for George?
Because he's a first-class operator like you, Alexander. He's been responsible for 12 major thefts in the last 5 years, all of them unsolved. Nobody even knows what he looks like. Now, we want you to see this thing through.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was sent down here to look into this thing, which I did. Now, I've got all the information that you wanted, and it checked out 100%. And I got the information on the buyers. I would think that such magnificent initiative would deserve some kind of reward. Now, how about sending somebody down here?
That would be, to say the least, very foolish. You've already made contact. You're in a perfect position to help us find out where the plutonium is and also help us get George.
Whoever your informer was, he certainly knew what he was talking about. Why don't you get the rest of the information from him?
Impossible.
Why?
He was found this morning, dead. I'll check on the Pakistani and the others, get back to you. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Well?
I had more of a side view. Must be further down.
You still haven't told me.
Told you what?
What happened?
There's nothing to tell.
I asked you to get me a drink. You show up 3 hours later without a word of explanation. A mess and no drink. And you have the nerve to tell me that there is nothing to tell.
It is not what you think.
Whenever a man says that, it's 10 times worse than what I think.
Peace, huh? We've arrived.
Who is she?
Jeannette Martin. Quite wealthy. She's used up 3 husbands and discarded them as empty shells.
Are you sure Mundi hasn't gone to the police?
Positive.
Strange. Very strange.
What now?
We'll see what he's up to. He might be useful.
And if he's not?
We'll take care of him. For good. It's a pleasure seeing you alive and looking so well, sir. I believe we should have a little chat.
I make it a rule never to chat during meetings.
In light of what transpired yesterday, perhaps an exception would be in order.
Yesterday? You handled yourself well. Extremely well. But let's come to the point.
If you insist. Grazie.
We tried to kill you. Yet, you have refrained from involving the police. Why?
Why?
I think I have the answer. You were looking for George, just as we are.
Look, I'll pretend to understand all of this in the interest of international goodwill, all right?
It then follows. You might also be interested in acquiring the merchandise. Without paying the price, maybe. I ask you, sir. As one gentleman to another, whom do you represent?
Hometown boys. Peoria, Illinois?
We could pool our talents in search of George, hoping to reveal his identity before he chooses to contact us. Initiative is all important.
You don't say.
The reason for George's delay is quite simple. He wants more buyers to arrive. The more people who bid, the higher the price. We want to limit it to 3 of us.
How do you expect a small-town man like myself from Peoria to understand all of this?
You follow, Mr. Mundy. Once George's identity is revealed, it's a simple matter to find out the exact whereabouts of the merchandise. We'd like to hire your services, Mr. Mundy. We'd like you to borrow the merchandise for us.
Senta il conto. Grazie.
If you decide to accept our offer, please let me know you'll do it tonight.
That's outrageous. I wouldn't pay it if I were you.
You do it well. What else do you do?
Nothing quite so interesting.
No crack in the armor. You never let down your defenses. Do you, Al? Al Mundy. So romantic. And so secretive. Why did you come to Puerto Hercules?
To be a tourist. Like you.
La Bella Morte. Beautiful day. I wonder what it would be like.
To jump?
To defy death. Just as we are. Holding hands like star-crossed lovers. Al.
Yes?
Tell me. What happened the other day? What are you doing here? You don't trust me.
Well, it's not that. It's, just that there's nothing to tell.
I thought it would be different. And there'd be no lies.
Monday.
Oh, Al, is that you?
Were you expecting somebody else?
Yeah, we received confirmation this morning. The plutonium was stolen from the Spanish Research Center.
Quantity?
5 grams, enough to annihilate 10,000 people.
Did you get anything on the buyers?
Well, the Frenchman represents some Arabic interests. The Duchess is apparently without portfolio. She's probably financing herself, and she'd also probably sell to the highest bidding government.
And Indrahan?
Well, he was deported from his own country 6 months ago. Any new developments on your side?
Oh, yes. I'm still alive, which, believe me, is quite an achievement in these parts.
Al, you have to get the plutonium back.
What about George?
Well, we'd love to have it, but the plutonium comes first. You know anything about it?
No, not much.
Well, it comes in, let's see, 2 forms, an oxide type of powder or metal. It kills on contact.
Well, that eliminates direct manipulation. What about weight?
Slightly heavier than gold.
Transportation?
Only in special plexiglass or lead containers. Any more questions?
No, not now.
Well, let us know if you need anything.
I will.
Signor Mondi,
Yes?
lei è in arresto.
What's the matter?
You killed him. Why?
It's as simple as that. I took a walk.
It is 5 miles to Bella Morte, 10 to go and return. A long distance to walk.
Well, it was a beautiful day.
You are a jewel thief, eh?
Ex-jewel thief. I've retired.
Natural.
You mind telling me how you tabbed me?
Every police department in Europe has your record.
I meant yesterday, out at the cliff.
A telephone call from a woman.
Unidentified?
Unidentified.
Naturally.
This man, you claim attacked you without provocation. You never saw him before?
Never. Who was it?
A fisherman. He could have met you at the Bella Morte by prearrangement. You could have held him to his death.
I could have. But I hate violence.
This was found in your hotel room. Unpleasant, eh?
Extremely.
Mr. Mandy, do you know which is Porto Hercules' real wealth?
Sea urchins.
Tourists.
Tourists.
Good life for pictures. And nobody knows them. So they can do all the things they would never do at home.
A sort of new childhood?
Yes. Now tourists are very fragile creatures. And nothing scares them off. Somebody falls off a cliff. A jewel thief is in town. One of them finds out, and poof, they are gone. Now, we wouldn't want a thing like that to happen, would we?
No, I guess not.
So, Mr. Mandy, until we know more about this matter, you are going to have to upset my hospitality.
In other words?
You are under arrest, Mr. Mandy.
Terrific.
Scusi signore, volevo fargli una piccola domanda.
Tenente!
Ha visto un signore di
Tenente!
35 anni,
Per
40
piacere!
anni al massimo,
Sì,
una
l'ho
camicia
visto.
bianca,
Il
statura
giovanotto.
media, che è passato di qui? Non l'ha visto, eh? Ma che vuoi? Ma che mi stai disturbando sempre? Lasciami stare, bambino!
Sì, è partito qui.
Venite, uomini, venite, presto, presto, bisogna far presto qui, andiamo!
Mi ricorda me? Dove abita la signorina Verena? Là. I'd like to talk to you. May I come in?
Well?
I want to explain to you about what happened to your friend.
He was not my friend.
He was my brother.
I had no choice. He attacked me first, and I had to protect myself. I'm sorry.
You don't have to explain. I knew him. La Pecora Nera. Do you know what that means?
Yes, I know what that means. Black sheep.
He was our black sheep. Wrong friends, wrong ideas, wrong everything. But still he was my brother. He was weak, naive. They knew it. And used it. I'll find them.
I know them. I have to find them, too. I could use your help. Sometimes it's easier if people do things together.
Maybe we can help each other.
Idiots. Both of you. I could have cut his throat 12 different times.
I wouldn't be so sure. Mr. Mundi seems to have more lives than a cat.
Well, we don't. What if he talks?
He will not talk. Our motivations might differ, but not our interests. He wants that merchandise.
So, what do you suggest we do?
I believe we should simply wait. He's clever. He will not remain in prison for long.
I'd like to get my hands on his soul.
Oh, you funny, greedy little men. So clever, so crafty.
You shut up.
Both of you will lose. Do you know why? Because you're so greedy. I will win. Because I seek nothing for myself.
My dear Duchess, do you have to indulge in the sophomore kind of debate even with us?
Hello. Oh, it's you. Zurich, wasn't it? Last season.
Might have been.
Are you traveling together? Fellow travelers?
We share a common goal, madame. Beyond that, nothing more.
I don't.
How could you possibly know what it is we share in common?
Because George told me. Would you like to meet him?
Getting the plutonium here to make the drop has to be the key problem. What makes Porto Ercole so accessible?
The sea.
That is correct. Boat. That's how they're going to get the merchandise here.
The harbor keeps records of all the arrivals and departures.
Do you have any doubts?
No.
You're sure? There's still time.
No, I want to do it.
What are we waiting for? Come on, let's go.
Pronto? Sì, pronto? 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 Sempre pronto, niente.
No, ma io non voglio comprare una barca, io voglio sapere gli arrivi.
Niente, Niente.
Grazie.
You going?
Well?
I hope one of them is a good one. Expected tomorrow, Le Corsaire from Brest and Le Chalut from Marseille. They're small sailing boats.
Anything else?
2 Norwegian fishing boats arrived yesterday. They left this morning. And then there's the Georgia. It's a yacht with a Panama flag.
Georgia.
It arrived this morning.
Where does it come from?
Spain.
There she is. Let's go.
Cosa fa di bello oggi? Ore cattive?
Certo, pescando, non lo vedi? No, non c'è niente oggi.
Pieno di pesce e pesca adesso.
Cani.
Ma gli piacciono? Mi piace mangiarli? Quanto vuole? Quanto costano? 5.000?
No, 10.000 mi dice.
Ma lei è molto cara, pesca adesso.
Cani. No.
Come mai così carino che non c'ha fidanzato?
Ma lei cosa ti dice, sì?
Come mi impiccia? Lei è molto carina, anzi stasera cosa fa? Esce a cena con me?
Nemmeno per sogno.
Allora non c'è fidanzato.
Non me lo voglio dire. Buonissimo.
Quanto vuole? Quanto costano? 5.000?
No, 10.000 mi
Ma lei è
dispiace.
molto...
I'll have some more of your excellent wine.
For once, Indrahan, forget your religion and have some wine. Make an exception. I promise nobody will tell.
Sto pescando, non lo vede?
Pesca bene?
No, non c'è niente oggi.
I just leased it, actually. Nothing is permanent, is it? We search until there's no excitement left, only memory. And you continue to frantically search for new excitement.
Madam, we came here for a specific reason. There will be no need to intrude upon your hospitality any longer, madam.
Maybe it pleases Madame to play with us.
I think we've all waited quite long enough. I'm willing to pay 1 million for the merchandise. Where is it?
Some more lobster? I'm afraid that it won't be quite enough. Batches. The bidding is open, gentlemen. Any ideas? That will be all. Mr. Mundy.
Good afternoon, George.
I underestimated you, Al.
Misunderstood would be more accurate. I think we both misunderstood each other.
You have something that belongs to me. I want it back.
Well, in the first place, this doesn't exactly belong to you. Suppose I were to give it back. What would happen after?
He knows too much.
If you have any scruples, I'd be happy to volunteer my services.
He has to be disposed of, and effectively. He's the most difficult man to kill.
Well, I'm sorry I disappointed you. Next time I'll try to be more cooperative.
There won't be a next time.
Will there be a next time?
No.
Hold it. You take one more step forward and I'll drop it.
It's too deep round here. We'd never find it. Your life against the plutonium.
Verena, bring the boat around. I'll leave it at the bottom of the ladder. He's in my way.
Right.
Now just back up. You make one false step and splash.
He's out of range.
Nylon. Terrific invention.
Besides, he won. And with style.
Is that all you have to say about this disaster?
He was a good thief. No doubt about it.
I want you to tell the police and the Coast Guard everything. But don't tell them about the plutonium, all right?
Where will you go?
I have to go out of Italy, fast. But I'll tell you where I leave the boat. You are marvelous.
Citizens.
Well, goodbye. And thanks again.
Will you promise me not to come back?
Why?
I think that if you make such a promise, maybe someday you will.
There they are. I never had a teacher like you when I was in school.
Stop! Stop! Fermati, Mr. Mundy!
This weekend, TV Land Box Set brings you some of today's hottest stars in some of their early TV appearances. Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Thorne Smith, Don't miss our Big Stars Little Screen box set. Coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific, only in TV Land. Stay tuned. Another TV Land Crime Stopper is coming up next.